opposition to an extradition bill. They say they're now facing an even greater threat to their freedoms in the form of the new national security law. They say they're not only facing heavy policing on the streets, but also online. Glacia Kwong is a tech activist. She sees the internet as a new battleground. She says the national security law limits freedom of speech online.
Digital sovereignty is a word that China and Beijing often use. They use it to describe that they have the right to control what information and what is available online for Chinese citizens. And this is how they justify their Great Firewall in China. And they are now trying to expand this kind of concept into Hong Kong by implementing the national security law into Hong Kong. They are trying to argue that they have the sovereignty over Hong Kong and therefore they have the right to control what is available on the internet.
The central government says the introduction of the new law is to restore order after a year of often violent protests. It criminalises state subversion. Punishment could mean life in prison. The law gives the authorities the power to force internet providers to delete content.
China is evolving into a digital superpower, and they have really smart and really comprehensive approach in controlling its people, including Hong Kongers. For example, they have the Great Firewall in China, and they're implementing it in Hong Kong, not the physical infrastructure because we have an open telecommunication system, but then they're trying to implement it through having this national security law because that will encourage platforms and the users both to censor themselves and the users, and therefore we have limited access to information.
This footage is from a live stream of recent arrests of student activists suspected of violating the national security law. Their phones and computers were taken into custody. Tech activists are worried about mobile phone extraction technology used by the police force, equipment reportedly provided by an Israeli company called Cellebrite. The software allows users to access the content of mobile phones without using security features such as passwords.
When the law was passed, people were thinking of deleting Telegram and replacing it with something else. When you are in custody, police can still use that hardware and software to obtain your deleted messages and recover all of them. There are cases proven that messages deleted could be recovered by that software.
Encrypted apps like Telegram were used for mass communication to organise the street demonstrations. Protesters like Simon say the police are using data extracting technology to build cases against young protesters. Tony is an IT professional and protester. He asked us to hide his identity. He says that protesters and residents are adapting to the new changes. He says Hong Kongers have been deleting past messages and starting to use encrypted apps en masse.
People feel empowered that their physical identities will not be traced easily to their virtual identities. It's a wise act that people start deleting their previous messages because it might not have existed on a safe channel or on a secure medium. It's a prudent move that people switch to new alter egos.
China and America are engaged in another tech war. Donald Trump is in the process of banning Chinese app TikTok over national security concerns. American social media apps could be banned outright in China. Hong Kong seems stuck in the middle. There are fears here that this city, promised political freedoms for 50 years, may be becoming just another Chinese city.
Koiki Media, and as you can see, it is not just about Location 9 Nigeria that so many evil governments, it's also around the world. Nigeria will shut down, whether you like it or not. We will use the technology, we will use everything to make sure that the message is delivered to the people across the world. Nigeria, a failed country. Nigeria, a society that has never worked. Shut it down now and save lives. Olayomi Koiki.